Everybody to come back. And we're live. It's working. It is working. I see the mic thing.
Okay. Yay!
All right.
Say what? Say what?
Waiting for everybody to come back. We'll wait. I got to delete those other ones anyway. People will see us eating our peanut butter and jellies and sandwich. And what? Our peanut butter and jellies and silence and sandwich.
Tasted good.
We got it. What? Oh, yep. Now, can we get something in the?
Can we get an amen?
A chat letting us know you can hear us. Gosh, I'm tripping over my words. I'll be tripping. I think I can see the little bar moving now. I know in the future. And this is all new, and this setup is janky, as you can tell by my backdrop. Okay, I got a thumbs up. All right, as we were saying, this is Blissfully Blended Podcast. This is episode 3. And today's topic is when the past meets the present, how previous relationships shape new love. And I am the hostess with the mostest with my Ric Flair robe on.
Woo!
I saw these in Nicole's club. Somebody just leave. Why would you leave? Are you alive at 8:33, or am I watching you after it done went off? We're live right now, as I just read your question to you. We had a mess up. You know how these things are, Pat. It's technical difficulties.
Oh, Mr. Pat.
I got a Ric Flair robe, Pat. What do you think? Huh? Woo! Huh? Found this in Nicole's closet. She had 2 of them.
I've got many more, but these 2 are the funnest ones. They're from weddings.
Take it to WrestleMania. Anyway, I'm Randall. This is Nicole.
Hi.
I want to talk about last week. We spoke on. It's weird because I've already done this one time, but nobody could hear us. Looks good on you, little bro. Thank you. Everything looks good on me. We talked about childhood, our upbringing, how our differences.
Remember, that's where
are.
the camera is. I see you always looking over there.
Yeah, because I got to watch I got to watch the chat.
But people want to see you staring into their eyes.
Yeah, well, can't stare into their eyes and read their question and read my paper at the same time. I think the 70s want their clothes back. Yeah, well, tell them come get it if they got their Wheaties. Anywho, we talked about our past, how different they are, and how that affects our relationship. And if you're watching this after the fact, because I think the people that are talking to us now watched it live, you can check that out in the podcast section on our YouTube homepage.
Yep.
Today's topic, we've danced around a lot in other episodes, and it's about how past relationships shape our current one. Emotionally, spiritually, and practically. And every time I do these podcasts, I'll get a little help from AI. Then I notice AI would push a lot of the faith-based stuff. And I decided to lean into it because I think that's a good thing. It's positive when you can never have too much Jesus. You know what I'm saying? A little Jesus, we're bringing you the big Jesus, you know?
You're just like the little Jesus that was at the bar yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting there.
What about it?
It's just cute.
It was cute. You thought that was cute, though. A big Jesus.
Big baby Jesus.
Sitting right here on our podcast. And so I got the scripture, Isaiah 43, 18, 19, to bring this topic in. And it says, remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I a new thing now, it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. He's going to be there, you know.
Why the past matters. That's the next step.
Why past matters?
Why the past matters. Well, acknowledging that everyone brings history into new relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is true. You bring a lot of things into new relationships, good and bad, whether it's things that you learned about yourself that maybe you are working on, or things that you want to make strong. That baggage, maybe some things there, like trauma, like that.
I think we definitely brought our fair share of baggage from past relationships into this one, not just marriage and all that, but I dated around and stuff prior to meeting Nicole, and so you kind of get a feel for what's out there, and it's terrifying. So there's a lot of things where you feel like you're walking on ice, but
I didn't really do a lot of dating before Randall. I took some time for myself, and then I did some stuff that was like not necessarily like serious, but just like stepping myself back out there, having a little bit of fun, but get into any like relationships or anything like that. So I've read a lot more exploring about who I am and what I wanted. So that was really good for me to do.
And that's important, which we will get to.
Recognizing your emotional baggage versus emotional maturity.
Yeah.
I think that's big. We started off with that. Like when we clicked, we went right into all of our deep conversations. And we talked about the things like our history, the things that we're still working on, the things that we expect from a partner or hoping to have from a new partner, the things that we won't put up with, the things that we let slide for too long in previous relationships that we know we didn't kind of deserve. And
but that's just it. Like that was that past relationship and relationships and dating and talking to people from dating apps and all the stuff you do. That's what I learned very quick. I thought, at the end of my marriage, I knew what I wanted, or at least what I didn't want. And, oh boy, there's some crazies out there. And so, no, I've just learned like this is what I call mental rules for myself. And if you ain't checking boxes, then it ain't gonna work for me. And it took time to build that, and like you said, discover what I wanted and what I needed. And I'd say like after the last relationship I was in, dating relationship, I was pretty done with it. Like, not done with it, but like I didn't feel like there was hope for what I was looking for, or maybe that just didn't exist. And then I met Nicole, and she was slamming some wings on the first date, and I was like, all right, this may work. Christian perspective, God uses our past to grow us, not define us, which we just talked a little bit about. The importance of grace and redemption in relationship. Romans 8:28 says, I wrapped this around my fingers and I got stuck. Romans 8:28 says, and we know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Randall and Nicole's personal stories is our next topic. It says, share briefly, and in parentheses, and appropriately, about lessons learned from past relationships. So some, I guess, detail things like for me, and I don't know what you want to speak to, but for me, like anger, attitude, these sort of things, I'm not going to tolerate it for myself. I'm not going to tolerate it for my kids. So, don't come at me. It's a treat others the way you'd want to be treated thing, which is also biblical. In a relationship, I'm going to treat that person like gold. I think you would agree. that I do.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't expect to be treated any differently. So I've went on a few dates, and when it starts just getting on the edge of comfortable, and the girl gets that little snappy with you, I'm like, pause, I'm out. Because this ain't going to turn into that. So for me, that's a lesson I learned. The biggest one from my past relationship, because it puts me in the worst mental headspace when someone's just angry and coming at me.
Yeah.
What's that big lesson you learned?
If I see any anger or any kind of feels that there could be some kind of explosion, makes me want to back away, and I lean into that because I don't want that. I don't deserve that. I don't want Maddie around that.
Yeah. Yeah, and when it comes to kids, like, they didn't sign up for this in the first place, right? So to bring something around them that's just out of left field crazy, and to have arguments around kids all the time and all that, it's uncalled for.
I also listen to how people speak to other people. Like, I guess it's a little different with you because I know that your relationships with family are a little different, because it's not like you have like your mom that you talk to or anything like that. But if I hear how someone's talking to a friend or a family member and it's just off-putting, that's a concern. Because it's like, why would you talk to somebody you love that way?
Yeah, they're already warmed up. So that's a good way of seeing how they really are. Yeah.
And on our first date, I was lucky enough to see your interactions with Waylon, because you had that phone call that night, because you guys say goodnight every night when he's not here. And I was like, oh, this is so cute. They even make funny faces.
It's my homie. Yeah, I think we both had that thing. Like, we both had that. We don't want anger around. It's an anxiety. It's a trauma we both have, which it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because it's such a traumatic thing to us that my kids have never heard us get in an argument. We've never gotten in an argument. We've had a disagreement, or one of us speaks to something, and then it's over. But
I also have a hard time addressing things if something it bothers me, because I'm trying to use my words wisely, guys. I feel like I'm expecting there to be a blow up or something but I know there won't be with you. So it's like you're always retraining yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue, because the next one is how those experiences shape expectations in your new relationship. And we've had multiple conversations about this. We both had that thing where, I'll give mine because I don't care. But I was hanging a picture. Well, she wanted to hang like decorations in the new house when we moved in.
We had fun.
And she was like, yeah, let's hang this. I'm man tall, got the hammer, all this stuff. So over there, but my anxiety's through the roof, because I'm like, from past experiences, I'm like, I'm gonna get yelled at, because this nail ain't gonna be placed exactly where it's supposed to be, or I'm not gonna be doing it right, and it's gonna be this big thing. And I think I did hang it like crooked. And we started like laughing about it and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, people are normal, and you don't have to argue about everything. Everything's not the end of the world. I think we all do have a little bit of that in us, where we live in our bubble. And so when things don't go the way we want them to, we freak out a little bit, but I try not to put that on other people. I'm freaking out in my little zone over here, and I'm not going to attack you. I don't know if you want to speak to how experience shaped expectations in the new relationship, or if you just want to move to the next question.
Well, I find myself asking Randall, like, if it's okay for me to do certain things, and like he'll just be like, I don't know why you're asking.
Well, the best example of that was crazy was I'm sitting on the couch one night and she comes by and she says, I'm going to take a shower. Is that okay? And I'm like, did you just ask me if it's okay to bathe? You know, like, you don't have to get my permission to bathe or go to the bathroom or run to the store.
I was leaving you with like watching Maddie for a little bit and he wasn't feeling too hot, but
that's what I signed up for.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah. How faith changed the way you view love in your partnership. I'll say this because I know you probably think it's a little too faith heavy.
It's a little, but it's okay.
I don't want to say hey to the new viewer, but we got another viewer.
Yay!
Faith has been big though in our relationship.
That's true.
And I didn't know. I knew I wanted that. That's one of the things that was on my checklist. That's why we talked about going to church and stuff early. But it's been so present in our relationship that it's, I mean, to me personally, if your relationship's not built on faith and not built on Christ, then that's you putting that relationship before him, and that's not sustainable. Almost couldn't say that word. And man, it was very hard to find somebody that like-minded with that. And then when I met Nicole,
and also has some open-mindedness to some things.
Yeah, but when I met you, I mean, definitely there was differences because, like we talked about in the last episode, our upbringing being different. I'll check out on the homepage. But Nicole grew up Catholic, and it was very family-driven. Catholic, her family, that's what they did. And I put myself through church because I didn't really have the backing of family with that, and found my own way to Christ. And I went to grow up in a Pentecostal church. They were wildly different than the Catholic church. And so I guess it was like COVID time.
You love this rub.
I did. It was pretty nice. It was around COVID time. The church I was going to closed. And then, you know, going here and there to different places. But then the separation, divorce happened, and it was so hard to get my mind back to where I needed it to be. And so when I met Nicole, I didn't have a home church, and she didn't have a home church, Catholic or otherwise, that you were going to. And so we just agreed that we would start looking for something, and we agreed it was important. And it has played a big role in where we're at, and I think God's on our side, you know. Moments of healing or aha realizations. Would you speak to your healing moment or aha realization with me?
I still get them all the time, actually. These healing aha moments. Like when he doesn't react the way my body expects him to react. Like, oh. And then like I calm down. It's like, I know he's Randall. He's not someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. I still get those too. I also get like even things outside of relationship, like self-discovery stuff that will come to me. Like I know, like before we even started dating, I remember like the relationship I was in ended a while back, and I remember driving home from work one day, and a smile came on my face. I was like, I'm happy.
Hmm.
I haven't ever been happy. But like, because I was thinking about like, I'm going to go home. And I think it was like a kid-free week for me. And I just had these like, oh man, I got to go home and this and this and this. And then it hit me like, I don't have to do anything. Like there's nothing wait for me. There's no bad news there. It's just, I'm going to go home and turn the TV on or watch a movie or just do whatever I want to do. And I was like, I've never had that. And honestly, when I would start dating, that would kind of be a bummer. And I think that is for a lot of people where your life changes so much and then you're like under somebody's thumb. But with Nicole, it's another aha moment I have. We're just so similar that we hang out nonstop. I mean, I go to work just to get back here. And it never feels like that. I never have. I'm not a big video game guy. I used to play a lot, but like if I wanted to, I could say, hey, Nicole, I'm going to play a video game. And she'd be like, cool. I mean, obviously, some of these guys that I know that sit on video games for
hours
and hours and hours. That's insane to me.
I've never had an issue with that though. With any partner.
I guess now we're at the age where it works out great because I couldn't sit there for hours and hours and hours and play a video game. But like if I want to watch a movie or whatever, if I want to play music, which I like to play guitar and stuff, I grab the guitar all the time in there and play and stuff. And half the time she'll either come record me or come sit and watch or it's just very different. And I like that we share interest, which you would think's a given when you're looking to be in a relationship, but it's not, because people get desperate and they're like, I'll take you because you want to be with me, and then they're miserable.
Well, if we're talking about healing, like moments of healing that are pre-relationship, definitely sometime after I was separated, I realized that like I could do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of fear that I wasn't going to be able to. Yeah, there are still like certain types of stressors that I had to deal with on a regular basis when it comes to finances or taking care of Maddie and things like that. But being able to do all of that successfully without those other stressors that were always like breathing down my neck, that felt good.
Yeah. Well, and that's the important thing to get to where this podcast and this topic's talking about. There has to be healing before you go into that new relationship. Because if you bring so much baggage and you're not over these things that's happened to you, you're not going to get another relationship off the ground. But yeah, as far as...
That's why it's so good that you're marrying a therapist, babe.
Yeah. And you're marrying a wannabe one. But no, like I will say that to you, like you look at Nicole's life and it's like, how I would lose my mind.
Well, you're a part of it now.
Well, doing it alone, I would, that would be such a struggle. Like, sometimes I'll cover for you while you're doing a therapy session or you're, got whatever going on and it's boom, 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 medicine. And then it's meals, and then it's medicine again, and it's a diaper change, and then it's a this, and then it's a this, and then it's a this. And, 8:30, Maddie goes to bed typically. And then you sit down and you're like, boom. It's like, for me.
You're like, I want to spend time with you. And I'm like, okay.
We're so different in that way because for me, I'm miserable if I don't have this. It's sometime every day for me things, and you don't get a lot of that. So it's to learn how to navigate that is because I would struggle with that on my own.
I gotta take advantage of it when I can get it. Like today, we dropped Maddie off last night at his dad's.
Yeah.
So I got to sleep in a little bit today. Oh, we slept in a little too much.
Yeah, we slept in all right.
But I didn't have to worry about like lunch, like doing anything for Maddie on lunch break. I didn't have to worry about the school. So when I finally decided to take my lunch, I got myself something to eat. I sat down and I finished the rest of a movie that I started the other week. So I actually took that time for myself and it felt so nice.
Yeah.
And then you came home.
Yeah, and that's so for me, I guess I have such a problem sleeping that I carve out that little time at night
I hate that though.
between when you fall asleep and when I fall asleep. It's if it's something as small as like, I wanted to see that thing at that awards show or whatever, get on YouTube and look at something, like I'll do that. And then I'll feel like, okay, I got to do that for me. Now I can give back to the world and work and do all that stuff. But emphasize hope, growth, and God's timing, not negatively towards past partners. Man, God's timing is very interesting with us.
It really is.
Because I went through a 16-year marriage and a handful of relationships afterwards that if the big guy could explain why I needed to
and like
go through all that.
And it was just crazy because it was like my friend Lindsay, who will be one of my bridesmaids, she will attest to this because I was with her on New Year's Eve. It was literally January 1. My words are doing the same thing as your words today.
New Year's Day, July
1st. I was literally like, I'm just going to go back on this dating app. I was off of it for 2 months. And I was like, I'm just going to start again. January 1st. Let's just do it. Let's just see. January 5th, I started talking to him. And I was done. I was like, this is pretty sure this is it. I was like, did I really just meet this guy? I was like, this guy?
I'm praying for you people on the date maps.
Yeah.
That's there's no greater feeling than holding that app down and hitting delete. For me anyway. Some people might love it. It made me miserable.
I don't know anybody who loves it.
No, I've never heard a great story. I mean, I guess our story is great, but what it took to get there was I was kidnapped. We'll talk about that story.
Yeah, that's a great story.
It was nuts. Common ways past relationships affect new ones. Break down practical examples to you guys, the listeners, can relate to.
You talk about practical examples all the time.
Give me an example of a practical example.
Like you just talked about when we're hanging up the picture frames.
Yeah. That's a practical example.
Yeah.
I had to have it defined too. I'm going to need to hear the story sometime. My kidnapped story?
Oh, well, maybe tonight.
Yeah, maybe after this.
I might just add that as one of my questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have questions that the other one doesn't know yet for the end of this one. So, yeah, stay tuned. That'll make people stay tuned. All three of you, buckle up. Trust issues and emotional walls, why they show up, how to address them through communication and prayer. We talked about that. The walls you build is those walls from past relationships. Like in my case,
I'm still working on mine.
The yelling, the this and that. How do you break those walls down? Sometimes, I mean, I know in my past it felt like this wall's up and I can't get through it. And that practical example was, I mean, I would talk to friends back then about that. Like, I can't get through this. But for us, that's exactly what we do is communication. And I do pray a lot. My prayer location is driving. When I'm driving, working, talking to God. And when something's crazy in my head, and I know it's crazy, I'll tell her, I'm about to say something crazy.
He does. He says
But it's on my mind and I got to get it out. And you can tell me that it's crazy. And then let's talk about it, because then I can calm down with it and not have it bothering me. And most of the time we'll get through stuff that way. Well, every time we've gotten through stuff that way. Sometimes, there's been like 2 or 3 times I've gotten through saying something, I look at you and I'm like, that went bad. Yeah.
But we talk it out.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's a couple of hours of talking.
I'm trying to think of an example I can give with that, but the one time's only coming to mind that
the one that was kind of early on.
Yeah. But it
came from your own insecurities,
which came from past relationships.
And we talked a lot about that. And I think that really solved a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, just saying things sometimes, like, address things through communication. I said the problem I was having out loud. And then after it left my mouth, I looked at her and I was like, that is crazy. Like, I just heard myself say it. And
my face was probably like,
you looked hurt. Like,
I looked hurt.
Like
did I have my therapist face on? Was I like this?
No, you were concerned.
I was like, oh, was I like this?
Like, ouch, this guy, what I thought he was or something. Because
I jumped right into it, very therapist-y. I told myself, okay, don't freak out about this. This is not a red flag. This is let's figure out.
You wore a red flag on your face on that. I was like, right.
I was like, there's a reason for this. What's triggering this for him? There's a reason there. Let's get to that.
But as far as how to communicate with each other in prayer, I mean, for me, it depends on who you're dating, right, or married to.
Yeah, in my marriage, there have been some women that would have heard that and been like, "You're crazy."
Well, I know, and like in my marriage, and I'll just say from my viewpoint in my marriage, if there was something troubling me and I brought it up, it was arguing time, be defensive time for both of us, and it we just couldn't communicate about hardly anything, and I've experienced that since in other relationships and stuff. But with Nicole, it's just, if it's on my mind, say it, and I know she's not going to get attacked. I mean, she'll get quiet if anything. Like, that therapist thing. It was, you date a therapist and they're just listening. You answer your own question if you're being crazy or not, because you're talking to yourself, and you're getting no response, and you're like, "This is crazy." As far as how to communicate that in prayer, the big guy never argues with you, so just talk to God like you're talking to a friend. Just have a conversation with God.
Yeah.
Comparison: past partner versus current partner. The danger of letting comparisons steal your joy. Oh boy.
I don't do that. I don't do that. Has there been a time when I've done a comparison that was like a negative towards you?
Oh, no, not in that case, but I guess I'm looking at it different. The danger of letting comparisons steal joy. I guess in my head, I've seen it as letting those fears that I'm going to be like this person steal your joy that you could be having in that moment. But yeah, I guess the way they meant it.
Yeah, I'm thinking they meant it like, oh, well,
Right.
And I know that you would go to that concert because you wouldn't want me going alone, or with like some people that you don't know.
Right.
I'll have to introduce you to my friends.
And now it's first off, if you're with somebody where you can make comparisons like that, you're probably with the wrong person. Because no one I've dated, just go from before Nicole back, so that includes everybody, have I had such a relationship with like I have with Nicole.
I agree.
So the